At first, it looked like a normal comeback. A top actor, a new role, a second chance. But then, the injuries started happening again and again. A broken hand, yet still used in action scenes. Pain that didn't stop filming, and no one said anything. Then, something else surfaced. 2 different scripts, 2 different versions of the same story. One, he agreed to, and another, he was forced to perform. And suddenly, people started asking questions. If this was really just part of the job, then why does none of this make sense? Was this just coincidence, or was something happening behind the scenes? By the way, for those of you wanting to grab some official Tracers merch, everything is live right now. We've got hoodies, tank tops, mugs, tumblers, phone cases, and a whole lot more. You can check it out by clicking the link below. It's fully integrated right here into the video. Hey Tracers, Shan here. What you're about to watch isn't just a comeback story. Because behind the success, there are details that don't quite add up. And the deeper you look, the harder it is to ignore. Because you never know how deep this hole goes. Yin-Yang was born in Shanghai on the 9th of September, 1991, an only child in a modest, working-class family. From a young age, he was already learning violin and baseball, while also attending weekend classes at the Shanghai Huaji Art School. It didn't take long for his teachers to notice something different about him. He had an exceptional talent for dance. Eventually, he was selected as part of the school's 5th generation class. Even as a child, he often represented his school in competitions, bringing home numerous awards. Then in 2003, everything changed. He was accepted into not just one, but 2 prestigious institutions at the same time: the dance department of the PLA Arts Academy and the Shanghai Dance School. Driven by his admiration for the military, Yin-Yang chose to enroll in the PLA Arts Academy in Beijing, which meant, at just 12 years old, he had to leave his parents behind and move from Shanghai to Beijing completely on his own. At that age, most kids are still dependent on their families. But him, he was already learning how to survive alone. At the academy, Yin-Yang quickly stood out as one of the top students. His academic performance was consistently among the best in his class, and his acting potential was already beginning to show. Time and time again, he represented his school in dance competitions, both nationally and internationally. Back then, he only had one dream: to become an exceptional dancer. At the academy, he earned a nickname: the most handsome guy in the military academy. His striking looks made him incredibly popular, quickly turning him into a campus idol. But it wasn't just his appearance that stood out. By his 3rd year, his performance had already caught the attention of the Nanjing Military Region Frontline Art Troupe. And he was specially recruited, becoming part of a military performance unit even before graduating. Yang-Yang's career began in 2010, when he took on the role of Jia Baoyu in the latest adaptation of Dream of the Red Chamber. That same year, he officially stepped into the acting industry after signing with Rongzinda Film and Television. From the very beginning, he stood out. As soon as the drama aired, his name started gaining attention. But the real turning point came in 2015, with The Lost Tomb. Through his role as Zhang Chuiling, a quiet, mysterious figure with extraordinary combat skills, yet a hidden softness, Yang captivated millions almost overnight. His visuals, his presence, many believed he was the perfect embodiment of the character, exactly as described in the original novel. As the drama aired, search trends on Weibo skyrocketed, and its online viewership ranked #1 that year. At the same time, It broke annual streaming records, officially pushing him into the ranks of A-list actors. Not long after, in 2016, Love 020 took his career even further. His portrayal of Shan, a cold, genius university student with a surprisingly caring side, completely captured the audience, and his sweet on-screen chemistry with Jiang sparked a massive viewing craze across the country. That drama alone caused his Weibo following to explode almost overnight. Soon, his name became synonymous with one title: the nation's ideal boyfriend. From that point on, his position as a top-tier star was undeniable, backed by a massive fan base. As his popularity surged, his commercial value skyrocketed. Endorsements, brand deals, they kept coming, one after another. But the higher he climbed, the heavier the pressure became. With fame came higher expectations and far more intense scrutiny. At the same time, his fashion sense gained recognition. He appeared on the covers of major magazines and became the face of multiple international brands. But in the eyes of the public, Yin-Yang was seen as almost perfect, standing at 180 centimeters with ideal proportions and a captivating smile. Combined with his dance background, he moved effortlessly in action scenes, making every motion look natural and precise. But outside of his fan base, the perception was slightly different. While his visuals were undeniably a major advantage, many believed his acting skills still needed improvement. Over the years, Yin-Yang had taken on countless roles across both films and dramas. He had explored different characters, different genres, but not all of them worked. His role as Song-Yan in Fireworks of My Heart was met with heavy criticism. His acting was described as greasy, overly forced. His expressions felt stiff, and his eyes almost empty. And for the first time, the public began to doubt him. The backlash hit hard. His popularity started to decline. And eventually, he chose to step away, quietly distancing himself from the noise of the industry. Until one day, he returned. His comeback came through a Shan drama, a record of a mortal's journey to immortality, adapted from the popular novel by Wang Yu. The original story had already built a massive fan base known for its vast world and its deeply detailed cultivation system. In the drama, Yin-Yang played Han Li, a poor village boy. In order to support his family, he joined the Qi Xuan sect under Dr. Mo. By chance, he discovered a mysterious artifact, a bottle known as the Heavenly Creation Bottle, capable of accelerating the growth of spiritual herbs, giving him an edge in cultivation. From an ordinary human, Han Li began his journey toward immortality. With nothing but intelligence and relentless determination, he pushed through suffering after suffering, climbing his way to the top, and eventually, he rewrote his own fate. This role demanded a wide emotional range, from an innocent young boy to a mature and hardened figure. And when the drama aired, everything changed. Yin-Yang's performance was seen as completely transformed. This time, the praise was overwhelming. Viewers began to notice something different. His eyes now carried emotion. His expressions felt alive. The same actor, but not the same performance. Through intense action scenes and deeply emotional moments, he didn't just prove himself again, he erased the doubts. After going through that difficult period, he reflected on his journey, saying, "As an actor, your work is your foundation. Every role deserves sincerity and respect." He often emphasized one word: consistency. Because to him, Success is never built overnight. It's something shaped over time through patience, growth, and relentless effort, step by step. Yin-Yang's dedication to his work is well known in the entertainment industry. He has been injured multiple times during filming, yet he has never once thought of giving up. During the filming of A Record of a Mortal's Journey to Immortality, some netizens noticed Yin-Yang limping while still wearing his costume. At the time, he didn't give any explanation, so many assumed it was just a minor injury. The truth behind his leg injury was only revealed later when he appeared on the talk show Give Me 5 Minutes. He shared that he initially felt something was wrong with his left leg, but thought it was just a minor discomfort. However, the condition worsened to the point where even sitting became extremely painful. Even so, he endured the pain and continued filming until the entire production was completed. Not for a day, not for two, but until everything was done. After being examined by doctors, he was diagnosed with femoroacetabular impingement. He had to undergo surgery, where 3 absorbable screws were implanted into his left leg. After the operation, his left leg couldn't move at all, leading to muscle atrophy and making it visibly smaller than his right leg. This condition made him fear that he might never walk again. However, he tried to comfort himself by believing that hardship is an opportunity for growth. Until now, he is still undergoing rehabilitation and remains worried about whether he can endure physically demanding action scenes in the future. In the variety show Divas Hit the Road, Yin-Yang also revealed that injuries from his childhood dance training had developed into chronic ankle problems, causing frequent sprains. In recent years, his physical condition during filming has continued to fluctuate due to these health issues. He was once struck by a snapped electrical cable, injuring his leg. On another occasion, his face was hit by an axe, leaving a scar that remains to this day. Every time he thinks about how bad it could have been, he admits it still gives him chills. Recently, while training for his latest drama, Burang Jiang Shan, Yin-Yang was injured again. This time, his left hand was fractured. And yet, the scenes involving that hand were increased. And at that point, people began to ask, was this an accident or something else? Previously, many netizens had revealed evidence suggesting that Yu Menglong was repeatedly mistreated by the crew during filming. Because of that, the fact that Yang has often been injured on set has sparked major concern among netizens who hope that a similar tragic situation will not happen to him. Having experienced military life, Yang developed a very strong and resilient personality. On set, he even joked with a smile that his hand was injured and fractured, but for him, it was worth it to deliver the best possible action scenes. Despite his left hand being wrapped in bandages, he still completed the entire filming process professionally, and even reminded his fans to always stay healthy and keep warm. The Yu Menglong incident seems to have exposed the darker side and harsh reality of the entertainment industry. Seeing Yang repeatedly getting injured, some concerned netizens began compiling a list of these incidents, suspecting that he might also be experiencing mistreatment from the crew. This quickly sparked intense public debate, but the more it happens, the harder it becomes to see all of this as coincidence. For example, when Yang left hand was fractured, the scenes involving that hand were increased. And at that point, people began to ask, was this an accident or something else? Not long after undergoing ear surgery, he was required to perform slapping scenes. Despite his clean and well-mannered image, he seemed to be pushed into using harsh language and even damaging his appearance by wearing ragged, beggar-like clothing. Netizens began to question whether his fate would end up like Yu Menglong, his commercial value being exploited to the fullest, until the once pure and dignified image he had would be dragged down completely. Only then would they be satisfied. Photos of Yang with his left hand wrapped in bandages quickly sparked public concern. At the same time, netizens began accusing the production team of using a so-called dual script, Yin-Yang script. This practice involves creating 2 different versions of a script, one for public approval and another that is actually used during filming. As a result, Yang scenes were suspected to have been drastically altered, with his character significantly reduced through what many called magic modification. Rumors also spread that the drama used two different scripts for approval across separate platforms. Yin-Yang was said to have received version A, but in reality, he was allegedly forced to follow version B during filming. This led to growing controversy, with claims that he had been misled into joining the project using a false script. According to leaked script excerpts of Bu Rang Jiang Shan circulating online, the character Li Qi, played by Yang, was portrayed as rude, uneducated, and frequently using vulgar language, resembling more of a street thug. This sharply contradicts the original novel, where Li Qi is depicted as a humble yet dignified and heroic figure. Many netizens believe that this drastic change from a respected martial hero to a crude character reflects a form of script distortion that disrespects both the actor and the original work, ultimately damaging the story itself. If this is true, then this is no longer just a script change. This is manipulation. The dual script controversy quickly sparked a wave of backlash among netizens. At the same time, people began to notice something else. Despite being the male lead, Yang styling appeared unusually simple, with limited costume variations. Meanwhile, the second and third leads were given far more elaborate and visually striking designs. This led to criticism that the production team may have been using Yang's top-tier status merely to boost the visibility of supporting actors. And if that's true, then even the biggest stars don't always have control. This entire situation reflects deeper issues within the entertainment industry, ranging from abuse of power and capital interference to a growing crisis of script integrity. It turns out, even a star like Yang is not immune to the trap of a dual script. Since the beginning of his career, he has managed to reach this point through persistence, discipline, and a cautious approach to his work. In many ways, his journey mirrors a record of a mortal's journey to immortality. Like Han Li in the story, he is, in a sense, an ordinary person in the real world, who continues to push forward and break through limitations despite countless challenges. Yang's resilience and positive mindset are not only reflected in his work, but have also inspired many of his fans in real life. From being known as the most handsome student in a military academy to becoming a top-tier star, he has earned public respect through dedication and humility. In the entertainment industry, what's being tested is not just talent, but how far someone can endure without losing themselves. Because in the end, what we see on screen doesn't always reflect what truly happens behind it. And if you're still watching, maybe you're looking for the same thing I am.